The first ever professional women's basketball hits up, and we are very excited to bring you this history. The Cayetano WNBL 2021 Season Finals, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina. And it's time to meet our protagonists. First, your Taguig Lady Generals. A gunner from the National University, UAAP Women's Season 77 and 79 Finals MVP, number 1, Gemma Miranda. She is one of the strong defensive stuff in the paint. From University of Santo Tomas, number 6, and Mystica Gandalia. Next on the deck is a good defender, and she never stopped fighting for the loose balls. From the National University, number 10, Jeline Batnag. A lanky forward who's banging and bumping on the floor from the University of Perpetual Health Binyan, number 11, Fiona Conato. Reviving her competitiveness into the spotlight, the UAAP Women's Season 71 Most Valuable Player from University of Santo Tomas, number 14, Mary Chu Bacaro. A defensive player and energizer from the Far Eastern University, number 15, Jamie Chan. Another hustle player and always giving her best shot whenever she gets to the floor. Also from FEU, number 17, Josie Positos. She is passionate about the game and working hard to get better. Also from the Far Eastern University, number 18, Lorraine Ventura. Takes an active role on defense and has improved her field goal percentage. From the University of Santo Tomas, number 20, Sophie Dawn Felizarta. She is moving around and creating better scoring opportunities. From FEU, number 33, Erica May Hortaleza. Here are the starters for your Lady Generals. Her ability to move quickly stunned the eyes of many. From the University of Santo Tomas, at guard, number 3, Lorraine Capilit. One of the versatile players and aggressive to the basket from Rizal Technological University, playing forward number 30, Carlois Marie Duwazo. Another agile player from the National University, also at guard, number 7, Janet Season. A standout for the National University, UAAB Women's Season 82 Finals MVP, starting in forward, number 12, Monique Del Carmen. A stunner who's putting extra mile on her defense. You cannot escape when she's inside the paint. From UST, starting center number 19, Carla Denise Manuel. Head coach for Taguig City Lady Generals is Mixon Ramos. Assistant coaches Ricky Reyes and RJ Alcantara. Ladies and gentlemen, Taguig City Lady Generals. Now, let's meet the Parañaque Lady Aces. She's a standout from the Far Eastern University, steady and ready, number 0, Blanche Bahuyan. A small but terrible from Adamson University, number 4, Mina Reyes. Another flexible player who will never get wrong to take it strong to the basket from the National University, number 7, Chris Tolentino. With a will to prepare to win, and her passion makes her incredible from within. From the University of Santo Tomas, number 9, Mary Joy Galicia. Topping the assist leaders for this season and making her teammates better, from De La Salle University, number 10, Angeli Gloriani. She is always confident and courageous, simply incomparable. From the Central Escolar University, number 12, Janina Solis. As staggering from midpoint, also from the Far Eastern University, number 14, April Siak. Providing energy for her teammates every time she steps onto the playing court. From UST, number 15, Mary Dean Tinkang. She is sparkling and looks dazzling when she sees an opening. From De La Salle College of St. Benil, number 18, Vanessa Santos. Next up, She's enthusiastic and extremely bright. Also from De La Salle College of St. Benil, number 25, Tanya De La Merced. And the starters for the Lady Aces. Her eagerness towards the game is really magnificent with her unwavering guts from CEU. Starting forward, number 28, Stephanie Ventura. Another top-minded player who can make threes at ease from Adamson University at guard, number 43, Jamie Alcoy. A sharp shooter from Rainbow Country and one of the assist leaders from the University of Santo Tomas. Also at guard, number 8, Jen Angeles. A Perlas Pilipinas marquee player, the Flaming Tower at 6'4", playing center, number 21, Claire Castro. An astonishing player and dominant. Her brilliance is amazingly unquestionable. UAAP Women's Season 75 Finals MVP. Starting at forward, number 17, Aliana Lim. Head coach for Parañaque Lady Aces is J.N. Cruz. His assistants are Lovett Macalinga and Angel Morales. Ladies and gentlemen, your Parañaque Lady Aces! Now, may we call in at the center court, WNBL Deputy Commissioner Armando Guevara, VP for Basketball Operations and NBL Commissioner Mr. Edward Aquino, and our beloved Executive Vice President Ms. Rose Montreal. Also, Councilor Marvin Santos, team owner of Parañaque Lady Aces, and Coach Bing Victoria, co-owner of Taguig City Lady Generals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are requesting the Taguig Lady Generals to gather and sing the Taguig City hymn.
Taguig ay paunlarin ang aming
Now, from the Lady Generals, let's make a turn for the Lady Aces to sing the Parañaque City Hymn.
Sa isang ng kaunlaran, bagong Parañaque, bagong pamumuhay. Tayong lahat ay magkaisa, magpasalamat sa ating poong may kapal. Ipagsigawan natin ang mabuhay, maging Parañaqueng bayan. Bagong Parañaque, sa isang ng kaunlaran. Bagong Parañaque, bagong pamumuhay. Tayong lahat ay magkaisa, magpasalamat sa ating buong may kapal. Ipagsigawan natin ang mabuhay, maging Parañaqueng bayan. Ipagsigawan natin ang mabuhay, maging Parañaqueng bayan.
Thank you very much once again to both teams for rendering their respective hymn. Now, here's Aliana Lim of Parañaque Lady Aces and Carla Manuel of Taguig Lady Generals to carry in the Philippine flag. Let us all stand, ladies and gentlemen, for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Please remain standing and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord for the WNBL prayer.
Dear God, from whom every goodness, wisdom, and strength comes and begins, we are ever grateful as we owe before you all that we have and all that we are. Father, in our every sport and tournament, we ask you, keep us away from any danger, injury, accident, or untoward incident. Keep us safe and free from the infectious COVID-19, and keep us reminded to show true friendship and sportsmanship, that in our actions and showcase of skills and talents, your name may be praised. In your kindness and inspiration, continue making us mature and grow into the best versions of ourselves, where in anything and everything we do it for your greater glory. This we pray in your most holy name. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to remove my face mask since it's assumed that we're in a closed circuit bubble and that everyone inside the playing venue underwent swab testing this morning. You know, the WNBL is really very, very close to my heart. In fact, I keep on saying that a professional league for women was a promise made in 2015 and was realized in 2021. And what makes it more special is that it happened during the pandemic. Today is indeed a day for the women bowler community. Can we give all these ladies in front of you a big round of applause? Just this morning, we sent a message to all with a statement that Philippines has the best female basketball players, whether it be 5-on-5 or 3x3. With a very successful launch of the first women's professional 5-on-5 and 3x3, the 3x3 having 10 solid teams, some of them unrestricted free agents from this season's draft. From 702 draft applicants, down to more than 300 qualified eligible draft applicants. Today, as we are about to close the Pia Cayetano WNBL Season 2021, on behalf of our dear Chairman, Celso O. Mercado, I would like to thank the Pacific Water Queens, the Stan Quezon Lady Spartans, the very hardworking players of the Glutagens Glow Boosters, the Honorable Lino Edgardo Cayetano, City Mayor of Taguig, team owner of the Lady Generals, together with our dear NBL Youth Commissioner, Coach Bing Victoria, as co-owner of the Taguig Lady Generals, and of course, the Honorable Councilor Marvin Santos of Parañaque of the Lady Aces for making it to the first season of the WNBL as a professional league. Our sincerest gratitude goes out to, first, the Honorable Senator Pia S. Cayetano and Congressman Alan Peter Cayetano for all their support to the WNBL. Thank you, Search Fitness and Lifestyle, the official fitness partner of WNBL, Gatorade, the official sports drink, Double B Burgers, WNBL official burger, and to the Governor of the Province of Pampanga, Honorable Dennis Delta Pinada, for welcoming us in the Brencigliao Convention Center, the home of the Pia Cayetano WNBL Season 2021. Thank you.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to call in Carla Manuel for her short message.
Good afternoon, everyone. So in behalf of Taguig, I would like to thank Chairman Soy Mercado, Ma'am Rose Montreal, Com Edward, and to all the WNBL staff working backstage for making this first ever Women's Professional League possible despite the pandemic. We hope that this league will prosper not just for us but also for the young bowlers so they can continue to chase their dream as they grow. We hope we inspire them by watching us through our live and the Facebook page. Also, we feel very grateful because we are considered as the pioneers of this first ever finals game as a pro. Congratulations and good luck to both teams. We promise to do our best and showcase what a finals game looks like. Again, ako si Carla Manuel ng Taguig Lady Generals at ito ang WNBL, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina.
Thank you very much, Carla Manuel of Taguig Lady Generals. Now let's hear it for Jen Angeles of Parañaque Lady Aces for a short message.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my team, Parañaque Lady Aces, I would like to thank Ma'am Rose, Com Edward, Com Heidi, at sa lahat ng bumubuo ng WNBL for this opportunity. Maraming salamat po. And sa congratulations sa Taguig Lady Generals and of course sa Parañaque Lady Aces for making it this far. Sana magtuloy-tuloy pa po yung liga natin at again, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa WNBL. Ako po si Jen Angeles, WNBL, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina.
Thank you very much, Jen Angeles of Parañaque Lady Aces.
in front of our women bowlers right now, we would like to honor two of our Hall of Famers. And since the quarantine restrictions have already downgraded, we decided to award to them personally their plaque of being a Hall of Famer of the first ever professional league for women's, the WNBL. WNBL is proud to enshrine into the Hall of Fame Professor Cristina Columna for her lifelong devotion to women's basketball, highlighted by being the very first Filipina FIBA international referee. She started as a durable member of the national team and continued to grow the game as a coach and university professor. Given this 17th day of July 2021 at the Brent Sigao Convention Center, San Fernando, Pampanga, signed John Edward Aquino, Vice President for Basketball Operations, Rose Montreal, Executive Vice President, and of course, Chairman President Celso O. Mercado. Ma'am Cristina Columna. Next, WNBL is proud to enshrine into the Hall of Fame our WNBL 3x3 Commissioner Heidi M. Ong for her lifelong devotion to women's basketball, highlighted by guiding the Philippines to its first international title at the 2010 Sayaba Women's Championship Manila. She also distinguished herself as an outstanding player at the University of Santo Tomas and then the national team, followed by coaching winning programs of the University of Santo Tomas, Ateneo de Manila, and Enderan colleges. Given the 17th day of July 2021 at the Brent Sigao Convention Center, San Fernando, Pampanga, signed John Edward Aquino, Vice President Basketball Operations, Rose Montreal, and of course, Chairman President Celso O. Mercado. Ladies and gentlemen, young lady bowlers, we present to you our WNBL Hall of Famers, Commissioner Heidi M. Ong and Professional Tina Columna.
Good afternoon. Maraming salamat po sa nagbigay sa akin ng awards, sa bumubuo ng staff ng WNBL, and then sa mga coaches and players. Alam niyo, naiingit kami ni Coach Heidi sa inyo eh. Ingit na ingit kami kasi bibigyan lang kami ng pagkakataon maglaro ng mga 50, lalaro pa rin kami. Pero siguro, nung time na naglalaro kami, iba yung aming naranasan. Then, ngayon, sobrang swerte nyo dahil ito yung pinapangarap talaga namin na magkaroon ng professional basketball na liga sa babae. Kaya lang, siguro, yung time namin na kaya kami nakilala dahil naging member kami ng national team and then naka-experience kami maglaro sa ibang bansa. Then, yun lang ang inaano namin sa amin. Gusto ko lang ipabot sa inyo is, number one is disiplina. And then, yung ating katawan natin huwag pababayaan. Kasi, pag tayo ay may, halimbawa, na-injured tayo, malaki na ang pagbabago ng magiging laro natin. So, ingat at sana, ipagpatuloy natin to. Pagpatuloy natin. Kasi after nyo maglaro, siguro sa basketball, pag iikot ang mundo natin, pwede kayo maging referee or coaches and teacher. Maraming salamat.
A very inspiring message for our lady bowlers from our Hall of Famer, Professor Cristina Columna. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cayetano Season 2021 Final Series between the Taguig Lady Generals and the Parañaque Lady Aces. Good luck to all teams. Thank you.
In lieu of the traditional handshake and following strictly the safety protocol, both squads kindly put your right hand to your chest and take a bow towards your opponent. It's almost time for Game 1 of the Best of 3 Finals. The Pia Cayetano WNBL 2021 season, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipinas!
From 5 teams, we are down to just 2. And we are live here at the Brenzi Giao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga, where Aliana Lim and the rest of the Parañaque Lady Aces vie for the championship against Janet Season and the rest of the Taguig Lady Generals. Will it be a Lady Aces clean sweep, or will the Lady Generals have a tactical triumph here in game number 1 of the Pia Cayetano WNBL season 2021. Magandang hapon Pilipinas, I'm Ruben Terrado and we welcome you to our coverage of the WNBL here on Solar Sports as well as on social media. And for today, we are joined by my partner right now, our analyst from the Pacific Water Queens, former Ateneo Lady Eagles, Miss Cara Buendia. And Cara, how are you? And what can you say about this championship series? Are you excited with this matchup?
Well, of course, Sir Ruben, I'm very excited to be back here at the Brenzy Giao Convention Center. And, well, I'm excited to be part of the first WNBL finals. It's the finals now. So these two teams, they really worked hard for it, and I'm excited for both teams. It was an unfortunate early exit for my team, but these teams, they really deserve to be here. And yes, the road to finals, they really deserve it, and we can really expect a very, very exciting finals.
Speaking
today.
of the road to the finals, let's review the Parañaque Lady Aces who dominated the elimination round from the beginning. Claire Castro, midway into the conference, played after seeing action with Gilas Pilipinas. They swept the elimination round, 8-0 record, and they continued on with their unbeaten slate. They beat the Lady Spartans of Quezon in the semifinals by an average margin of 37 points. And now they are in the finals. They were the first team to book a finals here in the WNBL 2021 season. And of course, a big part of that Lady Aces squad is Aliana Lim, who provided unlimited power for the Parañaque Lady Aces. A look at Aliana Lim preparing for game number 1. Look at the numbers. Cara, what can you say about the numbers of Aliana here in the semifinals?
For the semifinals, Aliana Lim, of course, if you talk about experience, you know it's Aliana Lim. She's played in the UAAP for she's been MVP, and then she's played internationally as well in various countries actually. So for her semis averages, of course Aliana Lim, Aliana Lim really she's a role player right now. She really wants to make her team look good, and if you look at her semis averages here, she averages a double-double for 14 points per game with 10 rebounds per game actually, with 5 assists per game, and she's also shooting a whopping 50% field goal percentage, and you can expect more from Aliana Lim today in the finals.
Let's move on to the other side and let's talk about the key player for the Taguig Lady Generals. It's Tin Kapilit, the leading scorer for the Lady Generals. Look at the highlights of Tin Kapilit. Of course, before that, let's review the road to the finals for the Lady Generals. They were actually the runner-up in the first season of the WNBL. And then this season, they started out slow, but they got their bearings and won 4 out of their 8 games. And then in the semifinal round, they beat the Glutagens Glow Boosters 2-1. And of course, they arranged a finals matchup against the unbeaten Lady Generals or Lady Aces of Parañaque. And then leading the way for the Taguig Lady Generals is Tin Kapilit, who has been in the center of the battlefield for the Lady Generals. And of course, Tin Kapilit, one of the key players of Taguig. No? What can you say about Tin Kapilit? Of course, you played against her here, of course, in the UAP as well. What can you say? Ano masabi mo sa nilalaro ni Tin Kapilit this season?
Okay, so when we talk about heart over height, when the definition of heart here is really Tin Kapilit, because her semis averages, if you look at it, she's averaging 11.5 points per game with 4.5 rebounds per game, and she's also shooting a 27.9% field goal percentage, which really contributes to the Taguig Lady Generals and their finals bout here in the WNBL. So yes, if you're looking for a really fearless player, it's Tin Kapilit. You're going for Tin Kapilit for this one.
All right, and being a defeated team like the Lady Aces, no, Cara, I mean, you played in the league, different leagues. Pag ba unbeaten ka going to the finals, medyo may konti rin bang pressure when it comes to, you know, keeping that unbeaten slate going, Cara, from your experience?
Well, from experience, syempre, I haven't experienced to play for an unbeaten team.
Yeah.
But of course, yes, there should be pressure there because you're undefeated. So of course you want to finish the league. You want to finish the season spotless. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of pressure for the Parañaque Lady Aces, and I'm sure that the Taguig Lady Generals will keep adding that pressure in this final series.
All right, we'll take a break and come back in a moment. When we come back, it's game number 1 of the Pia Cayetano WNBL season 2021 finals.
To begin, Game 1 of the best of 3 finals. History for women's basketball. Taguig Lady Generals versus Parañaque Lady Aces. Game officials are Janelle Buse, Jo Marita Hona, and Ferdinand Santa Ana. Fourth man is Jackson Mabandos. This game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. The Pia Cayetano WNBL 2021 Season Finals. Ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina.
This is it. This is the championship series. It's the game number 1 of the Pia Cayetano WNBL season 2021. Starters for both teams, Ventura, Alcoy, Castro, Lim, and Angeles. For the Generals, it's Capilit, Duazo, Manuel, Season, and Del Carmen. Kara, initial thoughts on the starting 5? Baka meron kang nakikita na maybe you noticed na something different from both teams.
Well, Sir Ruben, as I said earlier, this is going to be an exciting finals matchup because for the Taguig Lady Generals, we have 3 UAAP Finals MVPs in Monique Del Carmen, Marichu Bacaro, and Gemma Miranda. And for the Lady Aces, of course, you have Claire Castro and Aliana Lim playing for the Philippine team with international experience. So you can really expect an exciting matchup here in the finals.
Jamie Alcoy on your screens. Of course, Claire Castro joined midway in the tournament after playing for Gilas Pilipinas Women in the FIBA Asia Women's Cup. Our referees for today's matchup. You saw the names. And now we are underway. Capilit with the ball. Pass to Duazo. Capilit calling a play against Angeles. Pass to Manuel. Manuel against Aliana Lim to Monique Del Carmen. 8 on the shot clock. Season driving inside. No good. And the rebound by Parañaque. What did you saw in the defense, Kara?
Of course, you can really see that Parañaque Lady Aces are not going to make this finals matchup easy for the Taguig Lady Generals.
As we see Aliana Lim with the hook shot to score the first 2 points of the game.
As Aliana Lim shows dominance early in the game, as she always does. So
we have Capilit, pass to Duazo against Castro. 7 on the shot clock. Duazo still against Castro. And a miss by Wiz Duazo. Lim, pass to Angeles. Angeles with a shot. And she draws a foul. Kara, you played against Claire Castro during the season. How difficult was it? Yun ang pagbabantay dito kay Claire Castro. And if you're Taguig, what do you think would be the strategy in order to contain Claire Castro as we see Jen Angeles at the line?
Well, of course, Claire Castro, she's standing at 6'4", and I'm standing at 5'8". So, of course, there's a height difference there. But if I were Taguig, I would actually just push Claire Castro out of the paint because that's her forte. So, if I don't want her to score, I don't want her in the paint. And that's what Taguig should actually do right now. So, it's extra effort on the big woman of Taguig Lady Generals.
But Aliana Lim scored on that putback. Taguig unable to control the boards in that sequence. And a turnover for Taguig.
Unusual turnover from Monique Del Carmen, but of course you're going to expect a lot of that since it's her first time back. It's her first time back in the league playing competitive basketball after suffering an ACL tear after the UAAP season, if I'm not mistaken.
And a turnover for the Lady Aces. And Kara, I heard na nakausap mo rin yung ating mga coaches, no? Maybe you could share what was the discussion all about when you asked about perhaps strategies and maybe plans for this game.
Of course. So for the Parañaque Lady Aces, I asked them how they prepared for the game, and I guess we can look at what Claire Castro said in the PSA forum, that they have everything to lose. They have everything to lose here, and they're going to play harder. They're undefeated, so non-bearing for them if they lose something here, because of course they still do show their dominance. As you can see right now, they're up 6-0 early in this game. And for the Taguig Lady Generals, well, they expected to make it to the finals after a dominant showing in their second game against the Glutagens Glow Boosters in the semifinals. And of course, they didn't. They made a not ordinary preparation, as Coach Mixon says. So they decided to focus on defending Parañaque Lady Aces as a whole and not just individually. Of course, you can see Parañaque Lady Aces with these stars like Ariana Lim and Claire Castro, but if you want to win this matchup and if you're the Taguig Lady Generals, of course you'd have to stop their whole team.
Castro with another basket. 8-0 start for the Lady Aces. Del Carmen to Kapilit against Angeles. Kapilit with the ball. 10 on the shot clock. Kapilit, pass to Tuazo. Del Carmen with 4 on the 24. Del Carmen drives outside to Season. Long two by Season. No good. Rebound by Tuazo. Offensive rebound. And a block by Ventura on that play. Ventura. Pass to the corner, Alcoy. Back to Angeles. They go to the post. Claire Castro against Carla Manuel. And we have a foul on Taguig.
As you saw there, of course, like I said earlier, you wouldn't want Claire Castro to be in her comfort zone. So
While
her comfort zone in the paint, of course. So if I were Carla Manuel, you wouldn't want her to step past that three-point line.
Ikay Gandalia now in the game. And an early rest for Team Kapilit. 8-0 is our count, nearing the 6-minute mark of the first. And Aliana Lim with a tough shot. And it's still 10-0. Taguig still scoreless in game number 1 of the Pia Cayetano WNBL Season 2021 Finals. Bacaro to Gandalia. Handoff to Season. Season inside, pass outside to Bacaro. 3 on the shot clock. Bacaro, tough shot, no good. And battle for that ball. And we have a shot clock violation. Great defense there by the Lady Aces. The Lady Generals still scoreless in this game. Luis Duazo on your screens. Parañaque still with the basketball. They have held the Lady Generals scoreless in game 1 so far. And a steal by Gandalia. And an outlet pass. Pass too strong for Janet Season. So far, Kara, what the defense has been holding for the Lady Aces, no? What do you think? Ano kaya yung ginagawa nilang maganda so far?
Well, of course, you can see a height difference in this matchup. The Lady Aces are Goliath in this matchup, and the Taguig Lady Generals are David here. And so, of course, as we saw earlier, the Taguig Lady Generals, they were having a hard time penetrating to the basket. And well, of course, you have Claire Castro there to defend the paint, and you have the likes of Aliana Lim, Jen Angeles, AJ Gloriani. So, of course, you'd expect them to make things hard for the Taguig Lady Generals, because as they said earlier when I was interviewing their coaches, they will want to work twice as hard as they did in the elimination round and in the semifinals, because this is the finals. They've been dreaming of playing they've been dreaming of making history rather for the WNBL.
5 minutes left in the first. Taguig still scoreless. Gandalia. Hand off to Bacaro. Bacaro drives. Shoots over Gloriani and a foul is called. Bacaro will shoot 2 free throws. Of course, Marichu Bacaro, one of the veterans of this team. Kara, how important is it na meron kayong, kunwari, sa team, how important is having a veteran player like Marichu Bacaro, who is an MVP in the UAAP in 2008 and playing alongside some young players. So how important is it na may ganyang player like Marichu Bacaro on your lineup?
So Marichu Bacaro, of course, you said veteran. She is literally a veteran player here. Because after 12 years, after playing in the UAAP, she decided to go pro. And with no hesitation, of course, you can see her contributing big time for the Lady Generals. And it's very important because she brings leadership to this team. This young team, actually. The Lady Generals are a pretty young team, and she's one of the oldest here. And yes, leadership is important to keep this young team together.
Del Carmen with the ball. 10-point lead for the Lady Aces. A miss there by Gandalia. And 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first. The Lady Generals still struggling on offense here. As you watch the replay here, this shot by April Siat.
Of course, April Siat always deadly in the jump in that area with the jump shot.
Gloriani against Season. To Galicia. Screen by Siat. Deflected by Gandalia, but and Siat inside, she scores inside for 2. And now a 12-point lead for the Lady Aces. Taguig requesting for a timeout as we watch this replay, this basket by April Siat over Monique Del Carmen. 14-2 is our count. We have a timeout. A look at Janet Season, some of the highlights of her play during the season. Of course, Janet Season, one of the key players of Taguig in this 2021 season. And a look at the numbers of Janet Season, 9 points, 5.5 rebounds during the semifinals. And Cara, what's your impression about Janet Season playing for Taguig this year?
Again, another fearless player, Janet Season. She has contributed a lot for the Taguig Lady Generals with an average of 9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 30.4% field goal percentage.
Meanwhile, points in the paint, the Lady Aces, 12-0 advantage. So what can you say? No surprise, Cara, that number?
Of course, points in the paint. You can't stop Claire Castro in the paint. And she's been dominant in that paint. Also with April Siat scoring earlier, as you saw the highlight play a while ago with Joy Galicia. So you can expect that these two players, actually with Aliana Lim, they've been in the same team in international settings actually.
Right.
So you can expect great chemistry between these players.
Meanwhile, field goal shooting, 7 of 9 for the Lady Aces, and thanks to the defense of Parañaque, 0 for 8 from the field for the Lady Generals. Kapilit at the right side against Gloriani. Taguig badly needing a point here. They are down by 12. Gandalia against Lim. To Kapilit. Kapilit outside. Del Carmen. Long two. Too strong. And the pass or the rebound deflected by Gloriani. Ball stays with Taguig. Din Tingkang, one of the key players of Parañaque on our screens during the semifinals. Bacaro. To Kapilit at the right corner. Back to Bacaro. 6 on the 24. Del Carmen against Tingkang. Del Carmen. Double team comes. One on the shot clock. And another shot clock violation there. Another turnover for Taguig. Two minutes and 50 seconds left in the first. If you're Taguig, Kara, you've been struggling on offense. What do you think is on the minds of the players right now? And ano dapat nang kailangan nilang gawin in order to overcome this one?
Right now, the Parañaque Lady Aces are actually going small with Claire Castro and Aliana Lim out on the bench. So if I were Taguig, of course you'd want to attack the paint. You should take advantage of this time actually to attack the paint and not settle for 3 points. Of course you want to get hot on the 3-point line with Tin Kapilit and Marichu Bacaro, but you'd really have to maximize the paint this time.
And now a foul called on the Lady Aces. Din Tingkang called for the foul. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first. And as pointed out by Cara Buendia, the Lady Aces going small right now with Claire Castro and Aliana Lim on the bench. And we have a 5-second violation on Taguig. Cara, what's your impression naman dito sa bench ng Parañaque? We saw all season long na even without Claire Castro and Aliana Lim, nagko-contribute pa rin sila even without their two key players, as we see that three-pointer by AJ Gloriani.
So of course you'd have to give credit to one of their standout bench players right now on the court, see Din Tingkang. So she's averaging a semis average of 10.5 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, and of course her field goal percentage is at 56.3%, which is very high for a person coming off the bench.
And speaking of Tingkang, Din Tingkang almost forcing a turnover. Meanwhile, Bacaro with that shot, no good. Offensive rebound by Taguig. Kapilit, open for the three-point shot. Too strong, long rebound by Gloriani. And we have a push. As we look at the slow-mo here, this is the three-point shot by AJ Gloriani. Gloriani very deadly from the outside. She's also leading the league in assists this season. 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the first. We have a steal by Bacaro. Outlet pass to Kapilit over Gloriani, no good. So far, medyo struggling si Tin Kapilit right now, Cara.
Yes, Tin Kapilit, she's struggling right now, but you can also expect a lot from her later in the game. She's probably just warming up right now. You can see.
Meanwhile, a foul called on Mina Reyes. Her first foul. 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the first. The Lady Aces still up 17-2 over the Lady Generals. Of course, the Lady Aces still unbeaten with a 10-0 record entering the final round. This is a best-of-3 affair. You've just joined us. Parañaque scored the first 10 points of the game. 5 on the shot clock. Kapilit against Reyes. Kapilit. And a traveling violation.
You did mention earlier, Sir Ruben, that the Tin Kapilit is struggling, but if you look at the Lady Aces defense on Tin Kapilit, they're actually smothering her. They're trying to get the ball off her hands. And if you're a Lady Aces fan, then that's good for you, because you wouldn't want Tin Kapilit to get hot, because when she gets hot with her shooting, you can expect her to be very deadly.
Mina Reyes with that jumper, 19-2. in favor of the Lady Aces. 40 seconds left in the first. Bacaro calling a head play. Duazo against Siat. 10 on the shot clock. Duazo posting up against Gloriani outside to Season. Bacaro at the corner. Short on the three. Rebound by Parañaque. Now a lead pass. Intercepted by Bacaro. Kapilit to Bacaro. Shot clock is off. 10 on the game clock. Screen by Gandalia. Bacaro to Gandalia. Takes a 3-point shot. Short. 3 seconds left. Bacaro over Galicia. Air ball. And that ends the first quarter. After 10 minutes of play, Parañaque dominating this game so far. The Lady Aces scoring 10 straight points to begin the first. Of course, the Lady Aces aiming to sweep this season in the finals. They are 2 games away from doing that. And of course, at the end of 10 minutes of play here in game number 1, we have the Lady Aces up 19-2, second quarter when we return. Back here on the WNBL on Solar Sports as you watch the WNBL 3x3 held earlier. And Kara, naglaro ka rito no? So anyway, I'm Ruben Terrado along with Miss Kara Buendia. And Kara, what's your thoughts about the first quarter of game number 1?
So of course, in the first quarter, you saw how hard the Lady Aces you saw Lady Aces give the Taguig Lady Generals a hard time, which they actually did mention earlier that they wanted to make this finals bout very hard for the Taguig Lady Generals.
Meanwhile, Siat with a shot, no good. Rebound by Taguig. Kapilit to Bacaro against Galicia. Pass to Season. Bounce pass to Felizarta. 8 on the shot clock. Bacaro still looking. 4 on the shot clock. Bacaro drives and a block there by Galicia, but a foul is called. So far, Kara, yung lineup of both teams, what can you say about this one? Of course, Parañaque still without Aliana Lim and Claire Castro on the bench, pero ito nakikita na natin si Aliana Lim coming in the game. But initial thoughts about this lineup, Kara?
Well, of course, the Parañaque Lady Aces, first 5, second 5, you're gonna see that they actually have a very deep bench with veteran players. And then for the Taguig Lady Generals, they had a bad start with in the first quarter. But yes, you're gonna want to see them wake up in the second quarter, and they will. Knowing the Taguig Lady Generals, these ladies are fighters. So you're gonna see them actually fight back in this second quarter.
0-for-16 for the Lady Generals in that first quarter. Kapilit to Bacaro. And finally, Taguig scoring on that shot. So the Lady Generals off to a good start. 4 straight points for the Lady Generals, Kara.
Like I said earlier, these Lady Generals, they're really going to fight back. They're not gonna want to end this game with a very far score, actually. So as you can see here, Janet Season and Tin Kapilit on a fast break, which we will see a lot of this later on in the game.
Meanwhile, let's look at this play, this shot by Bacaro.
So you have Marichu Bacaro. You don't want to get Marichu Bacaro angry at this game because she's gonna want to keep scoring. When she starts scoring, she's going to be unstoppable in this game.
We have a timeout. A look at the semis average of both teams, the Lady Aces and the Lady Generals, of course. They won over their opponents. Kara, ano nakikita mo rito yung stats dito? What can you say about it?
Of course, you can see the dominance of the Lady Aces over the Lady Generals in the elimination round, I think. This was for the elimination round. So, yes, you have a 20-point gap in the points per game average. And then from turnovers, yes, it's very near. You have 17.2 for the Lady Aces and 17.1 for the Lady Generals. So yes, you're gonna see them actually maximize a lot of this later on in the game.
19-6 in favor of the Lady Aces. The Lady Generals scoring the first 4 points of the second period. Duazo against Lim. Bacaro, running shot over Lim. That's short. Rebound by Solis. And now up ahead, Aliana Lim. And a steal by Tin Kapilit. And Duazo now with the ball. And looks like we have a jump ball. Under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Again, we have the Lady Aces up by 13 points. We have Duazo and Solis jumping it up. And Parañaque wins the top. And what a shot there by Aliana Lim.
Aliana Lim making it look effortless as always.
21-6 in favor of the Lady Aces. Bacaro. Bacaro against Aliana Lim. And almost a deflection there by Aliana Lim. And we have another jump. I noticed Carano, Aliana Lim guarding Marichu Bacaro. What do you think is the plan here by Parañaque? As we take a look first at this shot, Aliana Lim absorbing contact and scoring over Luis Duazo.
Of course, Aliana Lim, you'd want to see her guard Marichu Bacaro because Marichu Bacaro, if she gets hot, like I said earlier, if she gets hot, tuloy-tuloy na yun for the Lady Generals. And of course, there's a height mismatch here with Aliana Lim and Marichu Bacaro. And of course, you'd want to see Aliana Lim use that height and smother the ball off Bacaro.
So far, Marichu Bacaro has scored all 6 points of Taguig in game number 1. As Jen Angeles will shoot 2 free throws here. So I think that's a technical foul, no? That free throw. Meanwhile, Claire Castro in the game for the Lady Aces. And Claire Castro now back in the lineup. Monique Del Carmen also in the game for Taguig. So we have Aliana Lim and Claire Castro back on the floor. Some confusion right here, but we will have a jump between Duazo and Jen Angeles. And it will be, I think it's Parañaque ball. Assist numbers, the Lady Aces with 9, only 1 for the Lady Generals. Solis inside to Castro. Castro over 3 defenders and she scores.
Add that to the assist of the Lady Aces. That's 10 for the Lady Aces now.
24-6 in favor of the Lady Aces. Felizarta against Aliana Lim. Felizarta inside. And no good on that shot. Battle for the ball. And we have another jump.
But Sir Ruben, you know, that was a good drive from Sophie Felizarta, because of course you'd want to get you'd want to keep attacking Claire Castro with the speed difference that Felizarta has between against her. But then again, earlier you saw Claire Castro make that point in the paint again, in her comfort zone again. So yes, if you were Taguig Lady Generals, you'd want to keep pushing her out the paint and not get her in her comfort zone.
Del Carmen with that shot over Castro, and we have a foul. A foul on Claire Castro on that play. So 2 free throws for Monique Del Carmen. As we take a look at this replay, this shot by Monique Del Carmen over Claire Castro. And there's contact right there. So Del Carmen will shoot 2, but she misses the first free throw.
You can expect Monique Del Carmen to keep on taking those shots even if she has a 6'4" player going up against her. Because Monique Del Carmen, of course, UAAP Finals MVP, she's fearless. She's a fearless lady.
Speaking of fearless, of course, Monique Del Carmen coming off an ACL injury, I believe. And now she's back playing competitive ball. Angeles against Bacaro. 2 former UST players. Jump shot by Angeles, no good. Rebound by Duazo. Bacaro against Santos. Crossover move. Bacaro with that jumper off the glass for 2. Bacaro with another basket. 8 points for Marichu Bacaro in this game. Meanwhile, Santos, bounce pass, Aliana Lim fakes. And ball deflected away, but ball stays with the Lady Aces. Meanwhile, they go inside, and a basket there by Janina Solis, and the Lady Aces up 26-9. Bacaro against Lim. Bacaro, pass to Del Carmen. Del Carmen now at the free throw line. Hand off to Season. 8 on the shot clock. Season fires a 3-point shot. Off to the left. Rebound by Eliana Lim. Angeles now at the right side. Angeles drives in a block by Kikay Gandalia.
Good drive from Angeles though. Of course, you're gonna keep seeing her making those drives. As you can see here in the replay, Angeles is also another fearless guard. She doesn't have the height, but of course she also has the heart here. So you can expect her to make those drives even against taller players.
Nearing the 5-minute mark of the second, Marichu Bacaro against Angeles. Bacaro, jumper, air ball, rebound by Duazo. Duazo outside Gandalia. To Del Carmen, she fires a 3-point shot, air ball. Another miss by Taguig Lady Generals. And again, how important is it, Cara, that Taguig converts their outside shots? So far, they have struggled. They have missed all their 7 3-pointers in this game.
Of course, right now that's very important because you still have Claire Castro in the paint, protecting the paint. So you have to maximize your outside shots now, and it's important for the Taguig Lady Generals to actually make these outside shots, especially now as we're halfway through the second quarter.
Taguig now going deep into their bench. Bats Batnag now in the game for the Lady Generals. Meanwhile, Taguig now with the basketball. Kapilit calling a head play against Vanessa Santos. Team Kapilit, pass to Duazo against Aliana Lim. Duazo inside pass too high for Team Kapilit. And I think
You can see the
frustration setting in.
frustration.
Yes.
You can see the frustration in Duazo's face after that turnover. There's of course some miscommunication there between her and Kapilit.
4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second. 26-9 in favor of Parañaque. A miss there by Solis. Rebound by Taguig. Del Carmen driving inside. Del Carmen. A miss by Del Carmen. Rebound by Solis. Up ahead. Aliana Lim all alone for the easy 2 points. Fast break play by the Lady Aces. Aliana Lim scoring that fast break layup. Watch it again. Aliana Lim all alone. 28-9 is our count. Parañaque still up big over Taguig. We will be right back. We have a timeout. Back here with Aliana Lim on a mission. Look at her numbers, 13 of 22 from the field. And this is today's game, 20 points in the paint. So you can see the dominance of Parañaque inside the paint, Cara.
Again, it all boils down to experience here in this finals matchup. Of course, Parañaque Lady Aces, with all the experience they have with these players that are coming off international games, like Claire Castro.
Meanwhile, we saw Wiz Duazo attempting a layup there. Cara, how important is it for Taguig to have Wiz Duazo aggressive on offense?
So Wiz Duazo, as we look at her semis averages, she was scoring 7.5 points per game with 9 rebounds per game and a 50% field goal percentage, which we are missing right now for the Taguig Lady Generals because, of course, she's probably having a hard time with Claire Castro in the middle. So right now, we have yet to see Wiz Duazo actually contribute on offense.
Duazo had a 10.9 rebound stat against Lutagens in their semi-final game, in game number 2. Meanwhile, Positos in the game. And she draws a foul on that play. And Angeles can't believe the call as we see Josie Positos shooting 2 free throws. Positos makes the first. Hasn't made a field goal against Parañaque this season. But so far, Positos scoring at the line. A miss by Positos, rebound by Aliana Lim. Under 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Angeles, they go inside to Castro and she is fouled.
You'd have to love to see the effort of Duazo there and Positos trying to get the ball off Castro. But Castro again too tall for these players.
Castro now at the line. Castro with 4 points in the matchup. A look at Coach J.N. Cruz of Parañaque. So far, Cara, everything going right for Parañaque. But ikaw, may nakikita ka bang something na mali ang ginagawa ng Lady Aces so far here in game number 1?
Well, right now, the Lady Aces, they have to limit their turnovers. I think for these experienced players, you wouldn't want to see them commit those turnovers. So yeah, I think that's the only thing going wrong for the Lady Aces right now.
Duaso missing that shot over Claire Castro, and I think intimidation factor na yon as we see this battle for the ball. Aliana Lim, offensive rebound. Aliana Lim scores.
I think that was an offensive foul.
And I think that offensive foul is on Claire Castro. As we watch the replay here, Aliana Lim, but at the left side of your screen, Claire Castro called for an offensive foul. 20-point lead for the ladies. Ano kaya nangyari doon, Cara, if you saw that offensive foul earlier against Claire Castro?
Well, of course, I think that was against Batnag, right? So,
Right.
so with Batnag, you're smaller than Claire Castro. You'd want to get her to commit those offensive fouls.
While a miss by Batnag over Castro, the ball goes to Parañaque. Medyo aggressive ngayon to si Batnag, Cara, in this game.
Yes, you'd love to see her aggressiveness actually. With that missed shot, she'd usually make those shots. So if you were Batnag right now, you'd want to make those point-blank shots against over Claire Castro.
And now Taguig forcing a turnover. And you can see some frustration here on the part of the Parañaque Lady Aces. 20-point lead for Parañaque. 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Positos inside, but he misses. Rebound by Parañaque. Gloriani, pass, Tolentino. Tolentino scores. And Chris Tolentino with that basket. 22-point lead for the Lady Aces. Nearing the 1 minute mark of the first half. It has been all Parañaque in game number 1 of the Cayetano WNBL Season 2021 Finals. Duazo against Lim. Duazo still with the ball. Duazo baseline drive. And I think Duazo will shoot 2 free throws. That Gatorade Fast Break Blast was brought to you by Gatorade. Nothing beats Gatorade. Another look at this shot by Chris Tolentino. Nice dish there by AJ Gloriani. Duazo now at the line. She makes the first. See Stephanie Ventura entering the game, replacing AJ Gloriani. Alcoy also in the game for Parañaque. And 2 for 2 for Wiz Duazo. Meanwhile, 50 seconds left in the second quarter. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. After day 1 of the WNBL 3x3, we have Uratex Tibay so far leading Pool A with a 3-0 record. The Dreamers and JJD Basketball sharing second place with a 2-1 win-loss card. 4B Supers and QWBT still winless after day number 1 of the competitions. Meanwhile, Pool B, we have Uratex Dream undefeated after 2 games. Giagel and Blue Fire Gasolista. Of course, in Giagel team ni Cara Buendia yan, 2-1 win-loss record, amazing and swish. Still winless in Pool B. So far, Cara, how's the experience muna yung sa WNBL 3x3 playing earlier?
It's a very exciting experience actually. It's my first time to play in the 3x3 tournament. And of course, the physicality level is very different from the 5-on-5. And me as a player, of course, I love that physical action. So I like this 3x3 matchup. So those viewers out there, of course, you wouldn't want to miss out on day 2 of the WNBL 3x3 tomorrow.
You can watch the day 2 of the WNBL 3x3 on our social media platforms. Meanwhile, of course, the Generals still struggling right now. And I think a big reason for that is the struggles of Team Kapilit, Kara.
So Team Kapilit right now, she's still held scoreless by the Lady Aces. You can see them actually give her a hard time. A while ago, you saw Team Kapilit's face. She is struggling right now. But I just hope she catches a break in the second half.
Meanwhile, Parañaque forcing a turnover as you watch this Aliana Lim putback. Another basket for the former national team member. Aliana Lim short on that first free throw. Aliana Lim with 12 points and 11 rebounds. So a double-double right now for Aliana Lim. 2 for 2 for Aliana Lim. 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Hortaleza against Ventura. Pass to Kapilit. Kapilit with that shot. Another miss there by Team Kapilit, and that ends the second quarter. So at the end of 20 minutes of play here in game number 1 of the finals, we have the Parañaque Lady Aces leading the way. Aliana Lim with that shot. 9 players scored for the Lady Aces. For the Lady Generals, only 2 field goals in the first half. So that has been the story of game number 1. We have the Lady Aces up 35-12. Kara and I will discuss the first half when we return.
So again, passing inside to Del Carmen for that reverse layup. That is good for the Lady Generals.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Aliana Lim against Valenzuela. Shot clock winding down and Aliana Lim scores. And that will count.
Larangan, handang pakita sa mundo, kayang ipaglaban, malambot man sa paningin, hindi mapipigilan, handang sumugod at hindi papayag maapakan. Hirap.
Gloriani. Inside pass to Galicia for throw. Beautiful pass by AJ Gloriani and Joy Galicia completes that alley-oop pass.
Kahit na ito'y suntok sa buwan, tama diskarte, di papayag, di makaabate, mga kilos wala pakete, kene hawak, bola na pahati-ate.
Lim now with 9 rebounds on pace for a double-double. Nice move by Diane Ventura for two. Diane Ventura with a sidestep move.
Ventura loses the basketball. Fast break now, Kapilit. Nice fake by Kapilit. Gets that layup to go. This fast break opportunity was completed by Lorraine Kapilit with that beautiful fake. Her defender just didn't know where she was gonna go. Paraon gets faked out of her shoes.
Kayang tumbasan kahit napaangasan, parang mantinan, kahit ano ay sasabayan. May sariling diskarte kahit babae kalawang.
Hello, my name is Kevin Williams, President of the National Basketball League United States. We here in the United States would like to send a shout out to the WNBL and the NBL Philippines on a successful season. We understand that during this global pandemic, it has been difficult to be able to have fans in the gym, practicing social distancing, and still having to complete a full basketball schedule. But our partners in the Philippines was able to do that this season. We wish both teams good luck in the NBL. We congratulate our WNBL champions, and we hope to see you soon in the year 2022 when the first international partnership between two NBL leagues, the NBL United States and the NBL Philippines, will be able to meet on the court for a couple of exhibition games. We look forward to big things coming from both leagues, and we're excited to watch the finals today.
Time here in game number 1 of the Cayetano WNBL season 2021 finals, the Lady Aces up 35-12 over the Lady Generals. A look at the first half highlights of game number 1 with the Lady Aces dominating this game against the Lady Generals of Taguig. 23-point lead at halftime. The Lady Aces started the first quarter with 10 straight points. The Lady Generals struggling on the field, only scoring 12 after 20 minutes of play. A look at the highlights of the first half. As I mentioned earlier, the Lady Aces scoring the first 10 points of the game. Cara, your impressions about the Lady Aces domination in the first half?
Well, right now, the Lady Aces, we have Aliana Lim scoring a double-double performance right now in the first half. First half alone, she's already scoring double-double. So you can really see the dominance in Aliana Lim right now for the Lady Aces.
Again, Aliana Lim with that layup all alone on that fast break play. Halftime stats, Cara.
So we have the Lady Aces scoring at a 55% field goal percentage, while the Lady Generals are scoring 6%. And that has also been the story of the game right now, so far in this finals game 1. So for rebounds and assists, you have Aliana Lim here at 13 points. Like I said, she's already at double-double, with Marichu Bacaro being the Lady Generals leading scorer right now at 8 points. So you'd want to see more of Tin Kapilit right now, and you'd also want to see more of their of Duazo. So
all right, second half now underway. 35-12 in favor of the Lady Aces. I'm Ruben Terrado along with the former Ateneo Lady Eagles and Pacific Water Queens player Cara Buendia on the call here for game number 1 of the WNBL finals. And a good start there for Parañaque with Joy Galicia scoring that jumper.
that is Joy Galicia's first points in this game, actually.
Bacaro against Angeles, and we have a whistle, and I think we have a flagrant foul, and the referees will review this one.
So right now we actually have Gemma Miranda on the floor. This is a surprise from the Taguig Lady Generals.
And I think Gemma Miranda has missed some games, right, Cara, because of an ACL injury, but I think she has recovered. And look at that play. And I think we saw an arm there, a forearm. Aliana Lim hitting Gemma Miranda. And I think the referees are saying that Aliana Lim, and that's a flagrant foul penalty one on Aliana Lim. So at the start of the third, a bit physical there, as Gemma Miranda will shoot 2 free throws plus possession for Taguig. And Aliana Lim has to sit on the bench for 3 minutes. Kind of rare to see Aliana Lim being called for a flagrant foul. And now Miranda at the stripe, has only played in 3 games. This is her 3rd game of the season for the Lady Generals this year.
It's very unusual to see Gemma Miranda actually miss those free throws, because playing against her in the UAAP, she would actually make those free throws. She'd perfect those free throws, actually.
Miranda missing on her first attempt of game number 1, but Parañaque committing a turnover here. Bacaro with the ball against Galicia. Bounce pass to Miranda. Miranda now with the basketball against Siat. 10 on the shot clock. Hand off to Bacaro. Bacaro inside. Bacaro jumper. She scores in a foul. Bacaro with that basket. And a foul on Galicia. A look at the replay here, Cara.
I would like to say that that is Marichu Bacaro's favorite move. The pull-up bank shot. She is now at 10 points and she converts that, so she's at 11 points right now for the Lady Generals.
Down to a 22-point lead for the Lady Aces. Ventura inside and a steal by Gandalia. Del Carmen now with the basketball. Del Carmen pass to Season. Season takes that jumper. Missing that shot. Offensive rebound by Season. We have a whistle. And I think we have a loose ball foul on the Lady Generals. The Lady Generals off to a decent start. And they scored the first 3 points here in the third quarter. We have Castro now at the post, outside. A look at the three-point shooting, 1 of 3 for the Lady Aces. Make that 2 of 4 after that shot there by Stephanie Ventura.
3 points.
Bacaro to Miranda. To Gandalia, jumper, short, rebound by Claire Castro. And now Angeles. Bounce pass, Galicia. Turnover. And now Bacaro with the basketball. Bacaro with a jumper and a block by Castro. Well read by Claire Castro. Loose ball picked up by Jen Angeles and ball stays with the Lady Aces.
You'd have to appreciate the Taguig Lady Generals defense right now because they are a team that actually takes pride in their defense. And you can see that in the first half, they actually forced 15 turnovers on the Lady Aces.
Speaking of turnovers, Miranda with the steal, but a miss by Bacaro. And now Parañaque on the run. Galicia scores on the layup. Joy Galicia with the basket. Parañaque still leading this game. Bacaro to Miranda. Miranda has been active on offense so far. Getting a lot of touches. Gandalia with a miss. Rebound by Siat. Ventura. Now with the ball. Pass to Jen Angeles. They go inside to Galicia. Missing that shot. Battle for the loose ball. And it stays with the Lady Aces. Talking about adjustments, Cara, ano tingin mong ginagawang adjustments right now ng Taguig? Especially now that they are trailing big. We saw Gemma Miranda being active right now on offense. What are the adjustments that Taguig has been making so far?
So for adjustments defensively, you're looking at Taguig actually being more aggressive on defense. So you're seeing right now on the screen, you can see Felizarta trying to push Claire Castro out of the paint. Right now, Monique, look at her effort to get Claire out of her comfort zone. So yes, defensively, they are more aggressive right now. They're forcing turnovers for the Lady Aces, and they're actually converting their shots right now off those turnovers.
Ventura now. Driving inside, and we have a whistle. And we have a push. We have a foul on Taguig. 6 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter. We have Wiz Duaso now back in the game for Taguig, replacing Gemma Miranda. Angeles to Galicia. To Castro, inside pass. Miscommunication on the part of Castro and Siat.
That is, however, a deadly combo.
Right.
Claire Castro and April Siat in the paint. You wouldn't want them to get the ball in the paint.
I mean, of course, the spotlight has always been on Claire Castro and Aliana Lim. But I think si April Siat, no, playing really well also this season. What makes her very dangerous, Kara, in your opinion, si April Siat?
April Siat, she can make shots when needed. So if you want someone, for example, Claire Castro has an off day, you can expect April Siat to step up. She has a deadly jumper. She can score in the paint. She's an overall well-rounded player actually. So yes, contribution-wise, you can expect a lot from April Siat.
Galicia now with the ball for the Lady Aces. They're up 42-17. And a steal here by Taguig. Del Carmen. And from behind, a steal by Ventura. Angeles now, forward pass to Galicia. Jumper by Galicia. No good. Rebound by Felizarta. And now Kapilit with the ball. Kapilit still scoreless in this game. Baka now against Galicia. And I think on the part of Monique Del Carmen, parang gusto rin niyang bigyan ng kumpiyansa itong si Tin Kapilit, Kara.
Of course, you'd want to give Tin Kapilit all the kumpiyansa she needs actually, because for her being the leading scorer for the Taguig Lady Generals, you really want her to get going in this game. You really want her to make those shots because she's a very crucial player here. And Monique Del Carmen recognizing that, of course, Monique Del Carmen earlier, she said, I asked her what I can expect from her today in today's finals game. And she did tell me that leadership is one of the things you can expect from her. Coming off an undefeated finals, undefeated NU actually, with a finals MVP award. Of course, Monique Del Carmen has that leadership that she can provide for the Taguig Lady Generals right now.
Castro now at the line, and she makes the second free throw. So it's now 44-19 for the Lady Aces. Meanwhile, Taguig requesting for a timeout. We'll take a break. A look at the numbers of Claire Castro, and Kara, Claire has been doing everything offense and defense in this game number 1.
So yes, Claire Castro has 8 points right now with 5 rebounds. That's pretty low for Claire Castro, and I would like to commend the Taguig Lady Generals for actually putting on effort in trying to stop Claire Castro in the paint. I mean, given that she's a 6'4" player, and the Taguig Lady Generals, of course, they lack height right now in this matchup. You'd love to see their effort here.
Castro now on the bench. And now Aliana Lim is back for the Lady Aces. Meanwhile, Hortaleza, too strong on the three-point attempt. Turnover for the Lady Generals. And again, we're seeing some pressure here for Taguig, and a steal here completed by Duazo. That shot by Bacaro, no good. Rebound by Parañaque. And they throw the ball away. But Kara, we saw some pressure defense right now by Taguig. Ano kayang tinitingnan? Ano kayang iniisip ng Taguig right now? This strategies.
Right now, adding pressure defense on the Lady Aces. Of course, the Taguig Lady Generals, I think they're trying to maximize on these turnovers. Given that they have the speed. They have the speed when they make those turnovers. They're going to try to convert those points through fast breaks. And they have all the speed they need right now with Kapilit and Season on the floor.
Meanwhile, Tingkang beside herself after that call. Ball stays with the Lady Generals. Hortaleza now inbounding the ball for Taguig. They pass to Duazo. Against Bahuyan. Duazo inside. Duazo for two.
Like I said earlier, you'd want to maximize with Claire Castro off the court if you're the Taguig Lady Generals, because of course there's no one protecting the paint right now for the Lady Aces, and like what Duazo did recognize, Claire Castro's not there. She took the chance to attack the basket, and that's what you'd want to see from Wiz Duazo.
Kapilit now with the ball. Another missed opportunity for Parañaque, but a steal here by Gloriani. Gloriani with that floater, no good. Rebound by Season. Season now with the ball against Tingkang. Season drives, and we have a foul on Tingkang. Tingkang now, frustration setting in as we watch this foul. Looks like a push there on Tingkang. And now Hortaleza inbounding the ball for Taguig. They are down by 23 points. Season against Alcoy. Season inside, double team comes outside to Hortaleza. Kapilit now, running shot by Kapilit, good! In Kapilit with that basket. And now, Parañaque. Sus for time as we watch this basket by Wiz Duazo. And after that, Team Kapilit with this floater shot. And we have a timeout. We'll take a break. Back here on the game 1 of the WNBL Finals, a look at Wiz Duazo, a battle tank. Look at her numbers. And of course, Kara, Wiz Duazo, one of the key players of Taguig.
Okay, so what we saw on our screens earlier is Wiz Duazo. Again, like I said earlier, she averaged the semis at 7.5 points per game at 50% field goal shooting. So as we saw earlier, Wiz Duazo actually made a shot, a drive, recognizing that Claire Castro wasn't around. So yes, you'd expect Wiz Duazo to make more of that right now with Claire Castro not on the floor.
And now, a foul called here on Kang Hortaleza. And I think we saw some adjustments right here as you watch this shot by AJ Gloriani. Parañaque now starting to get aggressive on defense. 48-23. Aliana Lim with 14 points. And Lim makes the shot. 49-23. Taguig still down. Duazo now with the ball against Aliana Lim. Some pressure defense being shown by the Lady Aces, and we have a whistle and a foul. now we're seeing some frustrations right here dun sa tawagan on the part of the Lady Aces. So warning here on the Lady Aces with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third. And now, Kara, going back to Taguig, no, we saw na they're starting to get aggressive on offense, no, especially Tin Kapilit, who is now at the free throw line. So you stressed earlier how important is it for Tin Kapilit to be aggressive. But Kara, what can you say about Tin Kapilit? Because even though she's small, I think she's standing 4'11", but she's really playing with a big heart, and meron siyang parang patented na floater no? So how difficult is it to defend a player like Tin Kapilit?
Well, Tin Kapilit, of course, earlier I've been stressing enough that Tin Kapilit, when she gets hot, she really gets hot. Like, she's really going to make those shots. And right now, it's showing that Tin Kapilit has found her rhythm late in this game. So you're going to want to expect more from that. And of course, her patented floater. That's something very essential for players like Tin Kapilit that aren't gifted with height. Because if you're going to want to score, you'd have to look for different ways to get the ball in the basket. And with Tin Kapilit, of course, the floater, that works best for her. And she's mastered that right now. So yes, you're going to see a lot of that in this finals bout.
But what makes that floater really difficult to defend? Kasi nakita na rin natin yan, lagi naman yung ginagawa. But for some reason, other teams have been struggling to contain that shot by Tin Kapilit.
Well, of course, the floater, that's very hard to block. It's a very hard shot to block. You'd see NBA players like Steph Curry make use of that floater. So it's very essential for guards to master that craft. And Tin Kapilit, of course, she's mastered it. She's shown us that she's mastered it. So yeah, it's a tough shot to block. It's like a hook shot, but for the guards, it's floater for them.
Kapilit with 4 points in the game. She makes the first free throw. The Lady General still down by 25 points. As we see Monique Del Carmen re-enters the game for Taguig. And 2 for 2 for Tin Kapilit. But still a 24-point lead for the Lady Aces with 2 minutes left in the third. Bahuyan inside. Lim outside now. Gloriani at the corner for 3. And we have a foul. So looks like a chance for a 4-point play here. But the referees will review this one. Looks like there's a chance that this might be called a flagrant foul. So I think they are looking at the landing spot. Referees have been consistent on that call. But let's see if that will be either a common foul or a flagrant foul. What do you think, Kara, seeing that replay?
Well, Monique Del Carmen really put her foot, of course, unintentionally.
Right.
She was there in the landing spot of AJ Gloriani, so it's probably going to be a flagrant foul because that's a very dangerous play. AJ Gloriani, if she stepped on Monique Del Carmen's foot there, she could have sprained her ankle at least.
But as a defender, Kara, how difficult is it to defend that kind of shot, knowing that may chance na matawagan ka ng flagrant foul on that play?
Well, of course, you'd have to know where to stop, to what extent you have to place your foot, and you wouldn't know. As a defender, you wouldn't know how or where the shooter's landing spot will be. So it's more of it's difficult, yeah, because as unintentional as you want it to be, it happens. It happens, and you can't really prevent that from happening.
I think the referees are saying it's not really the intent, the problem was she landed on the landing spot of AJ Gloriani. So flagrant foul called on Monique Del Carmen, and now Gloriani will shoot the bonus. She makes the free throw and then plus possession for Parañaque. A big call for Taguig. And of course, if you're trailing, you would not want to be called with that infraction. Meanwhile, a miss there by Alcoy. Rebound by Gandalia. Bacaro against Reyes. To Hortaleza. Hortaleza with the ball. Finding a teammate. Gandalia now with 6 on the 24. Gandalia against Bahuyan. To Kapilit. Kapilit with a pass and a shot clock violation. Excellent defense by the Parañaque Lady Aces.
You'd love to see the effort of the Parañaque Lady Aces to keep the ball away from Team Kapilit earlier. You saw that they were trying to hand the ball off to Team Kapilit, but AJ Gloriani, she stuck to Team Kapilit like glue actually. Right. So Team Kapilit, of course, they've been giving her a hard time in this game.
Alcoy with a miss. Offensive rebound by Alcoy. Bahuyan, short jumper. No good. And we have a loose ball foul on Parañaque. Alcoy called for the foul. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the third here in game 1 of the WNBL Finals. Another look at that foul. And we have Kikay Gandalia shooting 2 free throws here. Gandalia, one of the best passers here in this season. Averaging, or she had a 6 assist game against your team, Cara, against Pacific Water. She had 6 assists. Sorry about that, Cara.
It's okay.
1 minute left in the third. The Lady Aces up 53-27. Reyes against Kapilit. Pass to Alcoy against Hortaleza. Alcoy drives inside and intercepted by Hortaleza. Oh, what a pass there by Mina Reyes. But a turnover. Meanwhile, Bacaro inside. Throws it up. She scores. Top shot by Marichu Bacaro.
And again, the Lady Generals are maximizing off those turnovers.
Taguig looking to finish the third quarter strong, but Lim with a miss. Rebound by Taguig. 18 seconds left in the third. Kapilit against Lim. Kapilit with the basketball. Shot clock is off. Hortaleza to Gandalia at the post. Nice cut by, but a miss there by Kapilit. But Bacaro will shoot 2 free throws with 4.2 seconds left in the third. A look at this play by Marichu Bacaro over AJ Gloriani. And on the other end, Bacaro earning a trip to the line. Bacaro with 14 points, a miss at the line. Battle for the loose ball. And Duaso at the buzzer. She misses that shot. And after 3 quarters, the Lady Aces still up. Thanks to Aliana Lim. Your thoughts about Aliana's play so far? 15 points, 11 rebounds.
Aliana Lim right now is showing composure. You'd love to see the composure Aliana Lim is showing right now in this game, because as one of the veteran players here, of course, Aliana Lim, you'd need her calm and composed, because if you want her to lead the team, she'd also want her team will follow with her composure.
Fourth quarter when we come back. Mr. Paulo Ortega, the NBL Execom Chairman and Team Manager of the La Union Power. Here courtside, here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center. And of course, the La Union Power will play later on in the NBL Finals. They will face the the Pampanga Delta in Game 1 of the NBL Finals. But at the moment, we have the WNBL Finals between Parañaque and Taguig. The Lady Aces up 53-29. Taguig showing some life in the third. Kara, what's the reason behind it? I think mukhang nagiging mas aggressive sila right now as we take a look first at the quarter scoring. Only 2 points in the first quarter for the Lady Generals, but Duazo with that basket.
Like I said earlier, you'd like to see the fighting spirit of the Taguig Lady Generals. So right now, they're showing that. They're showing that they can fight. They're not gonna make it easy for the Parañaque Lady Aces.
Wild pass there by Parañaque and offensive foul on Parañaque. That foul is on Gloriani. As we take a look at this shot by Wiz Duazo, Kara has been mentioning it earlier, how important Wiz Duazo is for Taguig in game number 1. Again, this is Game 1 of the Pia Cayetano WNBL Season 2021. I'm Ruben Terrado with Cara Buendia on the call. Here live at the Brenzigiao Convention Center. Of course, we also welcome our television viewers on Solar Sports. As Luis Duazo will shoot 2 free throws. Duazo from RTU. As you watch this turnover here, foul called on Gloriani. And again, Taguig showing some life here, but they are down by 22. A chance to cut the deficit. Gandalia, pass to Bacaro. Bacaro with that short jumper. In and out. Rebound by Lim. Sorry, miss there by Marichu Bacaro. Gloriani with the basketball against Bacaro. Gloriani falling down, traveling violation.
You can see the urgency, the sense of urgency of the Taguig Lady Generals in actually trying to trim the lead of the Parañaque Lady Aces here in the fourth quarter, with them forcing a turnover again through their press defense.
Kara, if you're the coach of Parañaque, knowing you have a big lead, and now Taguig making this comeback attempt, what will you say to your players if you're the coach of the Lady Aces right now?
Of course, like what the players themselves said in the PSA forum that they had last Tuesday. Aliana Lim did mention that they can't be complacent in this game because they know that if the Taguig Lady Generals actually get going, then they're going to have a hard time.
Speaking of getting going, Wiz Duazo with that shot, 3-point play opportunity, and Duazo hits the free throw. And now it's just a 19-point lead and some pressure defense here for Taguig. Angeles against Season. And now a turnover. Gandalia to Season. Season and a steal by Jen Angeles, but Angeles steps out of bounds. 8 minutes and 19 seconds left. Taguig making a run here. Gandalia outside, Kapilit against Reyes. Kapilit with a block, but we have a foul.
Again, Tin Kapilit, fearless, like I said. That is a 6'4" player in front of her, and she's still going to try to make that floater.
Kapilit with 6 points. Struggled early in game number 1. Kapilit makes the free throw. So far, she has been perfect at the line as you watch this play earlier, Kara. A fearless drive by Tin Kapilit. But a rebound by Castro. Down to an 18-point lead and another steal by Taguig. But a counter by Mina Reyes. But Reyes met by the defense. A steal by Duazo. Duazo attacks. Duazo over Castro, no good. Kapilit tries to steal the ball. And we have a foul.
And again, like I said earlier, the sense of urgency of the Taguig Lady Generals with this defense they're showing. They really take pride in their defense. As you see in our screen, the Taguig Lady Generals are trying to smother these Parañaque Lady Aces.
A lot of time for the Lady Generals. 7 minutes and 49 seconds left in the ball game. Angeles being pressured by Season. Angeles goes to the right side. Screen by Aliana Lim. Angeles inside. Almost stolen by Team Kapilit. Castro outside. Handoff. Angeles. Baseline. Over Gandalia. Too strong. Rebound by Bacaro. And now Bacaro pushing it. Bacaro. Pass. Kapilit. And she scores. Kapilit with another basket. 7-0 run for the Lady Generals. And now they're back in this game. Fast break play. 2-on-1 break. Kapilit with that basket. Another look at this pass by Marichu Bacaro. Parañaque requesting for a timeout. A look at Marichu Bacaro showing the way for the Lady General Skara, and she has been a spark here, leading the way. And of course, Taguig making a comeback here thanks to Marichu Bacaro. Bacaro with 15 points, Skara.
Yes, Marichu Bacaro scoring 15 points already in this game. Again, like I said earlier, she's been silent in the first quarter. But of course, when she gets going, like right now, she scores another one. So now she's at 17 points for the Lady Generals, and you'd love to see that from Marichu Bacaro. You'd love to see her effort in trying to get that shot going.
10-0 run for the Generals, but an answer there. Tanya de la Merced stops that run. But Taguig now with momentum here. Kapilit, bounce pass to Duazo. Against Aliana Lim. Duazo still looking. They go outside. Gandalia short on a three. Rebound. Loose ball picked up by Castro. And now Angeles with the basketball. Angeles driving inside. Pass. Castro missing on that shot. Rebound by Gandalia. Bacaro now on the attack. And the ball stays with Taguig. A look at this shot of a steal. Marichu Bacaro with that basket. And then Tanya de la Merced stopping that run by Taguig. Meanwhile, Felizarta blocked by Castro. But a foul is called. Again, another chance for Taguig. Felizarta now will shoot 2 free throws here. And Felizarta makes the free throw.
There's still a lot of time left in this ball game. The Lady Generals are actually trimming the lead of the Lady Aces to 15 points. 14 rather. 14 points because Felizarta makes both free throws.
Meanwhile,
and again, you'd like to see the Lady Generals' effort in this game with their defense, forcing another turnover for the Lady Aces.
Again, another turnover here. 55-41 is the count. And I think, Kara, even though eventually kung matalo man itong Taguig in this game, I think this would be a good thing for them, finishing strong in game number 1.
Of course, it's going to be a good thing for them coming into game 2 tomorrow, actually. So, knowing that they have this kind of momentum, knowing that they can actually trim the lead down to this much, then of course, all the confidence is with the Lady Generals right now.
Fortaleza now. Of course, game 2 would be tomorrow, also here at the Brenzy Giao Convention Center. Meanwhile, Bacaro, shot clock winding down, air ball. And we have a shot clock violation with 5 minutes and 28 seconds left in the ball game.
Again, you can see Coach Mixon there with frustration because, of course, sayang
Right.
yung the defensive effort they put. They should have converted from that.
Five minutes and 27 seconds left in the fourth. Monique Del Carmen now back in the game for the Lady Generals. And I think if you watch in game 1 of the semis against Glutagents, no, Taguig also came storming back. But Glutagents scored some key shots to seal game number 1. Of course, Taguig went on to advance into the finals. Meanwhile, Gloriani with that running shot, no good. Rebound by Monique Del Carmen. Bacaro now with the basketball against Gloriani. 5 minutes left in the ball game. Felizarta to Season. Season now. Spin move by Season. But she misses. Felizarta with the board. Outside. Bacaro takes the 3-point shot. Short. Rebound by Angeles.
I think something the Lady Generals aren't noticing now or realizing now is that Claire Castro is not inside. So they should maximize those drives again. I have to reiterate them maximizing the drives. If their 3-point shot isn't working out well, they'd have to keep attacking that basket.
Yeah, good point, Kara. And I think this is an opportunity for Taguig to cut the lead further, or cut the deficit further. As we see the Lady Generals on an 11-2 run. And now another foul on Taguig. That's on Felizarta. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the ball game. 14-point lead for the Lady Aces. But so far, they have only scored 2 points in the fourth. We have another foul here on Taguig.
Again, it's these little things that you wouldn't want to happen for the Lady Generals because it kills your momentum. These small fouls, of course, yes, they're being aggressive on defense, but they'd have to stay away from fouling the Lady Aces because it kills their momentum.
Angeles now inbounding for Parañaque. Again, they have only scored 2 points in the fourth. Lim. We have Angeles now at the right side. Double team comes. And now some pressure between Felizarta and Capilit. 3 on the shot clock. Gloriani inside and a shot clock violation. Another excellent defense there for Taguig. And now Hortaleza taking a rest as well as Capilit. Interesting strategy here. Coach Mixon Ramos giving Team Capilit some rest here in the late stage of the fourth. Bacaro, running shot. No. Duaso, put back for 2. And now it's just a 12-point lead. 4 minutes left. A lot of time. Lim against Positos. They go inside to Galicia and a turnover. course, if you're Parañaque, if you went on to win this game, I'm sure you won't be happy with their fourth quarter performance.
Of course, you can see it in the faces of the Parañaque Lady Aces that yes, they are probably feeling some pressure right now from the Taguig Lady Generals because the Taguig Lady Generals are forcing turnovers and they're converting those shots on the offensive end.
Now, Felizarta at the line. Shooting 2 free throws, a chance to cut the deficit even further. Felizarta makes the first. A look at the bench of the Taguig Lady Generals. A miss by Felizarta and the rebound by Aliana Lim. This is only an 11-point lead. The lead reached as high as 28 points. The Lady Generals on a 15-2 run and another chance here for Taguig. They go to Felizarta, but knocked out of bounds. Ball will stay with Taguig with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in the ball game. While a timeout is called here, we will take a break and come back shortly. Back here on the WNBL, this is game 1 of the Cayetano WNBL Season 2021 Finals. We have the Lady Aces only up by 11 points. Taguig making a last-ditch rally here. And now Bacaro shoots a 3. No good. And the rebound, the ball goes to Parañaque. And Parañaque dodging a bullet there after that miss. An open shot by Marichu Bacaro. And now, still, Taguig pressuring here. Lim, pass to Angeles. Angeles against Del Carmen. Back to Lim. Time is on the side of Parañaque. Right now, Angeles. Met by the double. Lim, open. They go to Sia. Short jumper. Short. Offensive rebound by Galicia and she scores the putback. Huge shot there by Galicia. And now Bacaro and a block by Joy Galicia. How huge was that basket by Joy Galicia, Cara?
Well, it stopped the momentum of the Lady Generals, that's for sure. And they actually started to get a run. Also with the defensive block of Galicia.
We have a timeout. Back here on Solar Sports, as we look at the trends of this game, Generals refusing to quit after a 15-4 run in the fourth. But we only have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the ball game. Bacaro with a jumper, no good. Del Carmen offensive rebound. Reverse layup by Del Carmen. She scores on a foul. Talk about refusing to quit. We saw that one, Cara.
that's what you'd like to see from Monique Del Carmen. So if you're new to watching the WNBL or women's basketball, you'd know Monique Del Carmen. You should expect Monique Del Carmen to make more of those shots because, of course, that is your UAAP Finals MVP right there. She has that on her name and an undefeated slate with the NU Lady Bulldogs. So Monique Del Carmen, yes, all the confidence is with her even after recovering from an ACL injury.
Meanwhile, Bacaro forced to foul on that play. And looks like Taguig now in penalty. So 2 free throws here for AJ Gloriani. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the fourth. The question right now is, does Taguig have time to still come back in this game? Gloriani, a miss at the line. 11-point lead for the Lady Aces. Bacaro, handoff to Season. Last 2 minutes of the ball game. Felizarta, inside against Siat. Felizarta, no good! Duas offensive rebound. Outside, Del Carmen at the corner. Driving inside, but a steal by Siat. A crucial steal, but a counter. Bacaro to Season. Fires a 3-point shot. It's good! Down to an 8-point game. Galicia.
You'd love to see that unselfish play by Marichu Bacaro, recognizing that their shooter in Janet Season is open for that 3-point shot. And fortunate for her, Season, she got the shot to go after trying and trying this whole game.
Meanwhile, we have a foul here. Foul on Season. But we take a look at this open shot by Janet Season to cut the Parañaque lead to 8.
Like I said earlier, Marichu Bacaro recognizing Janet Season being open, despite her also being open in that possession.
Siat makes the free throw. 9-point lead, 1 minute and 22 seconds left in the fourth. This is game 1 of the WNBL Finals. 2 for 2 for April Siat. 10-point lead for the Lady Aces. Bacaro. Bacaro inside. Bacaro, no good! A sorry miss there by Marichu Bacaro. And now Parañaque with time on their side. Angeles against Season. Angeles still with the ball at the left side. Angeles crossover move. She drives inside. Angeles drop off pass. And ball off Siat. And it will be Lady Generals basketball. 55.1 seconds left in the ball game. And we have a timeout by the Lady Generals. We'll take a break. A look at AJ Gloriani and her numbers, 11 points and 2 assists. Cara, your impressions about AJ Gloriani in game number 1?
Well, AJ Gloriani, she's been on fire. She's been on fire from the 3-point line. And you'd expect her to make those shots as a veteran player herself. Adding experience to the Parañaque Lady Aces lineup.
Cara, do you think Taguig, should they shoot a 3-point shot here on this play?
Right now, 44 seconds on the clock. That's still a lot of time in basketball terms. So quick 2 would work, but again, a turnover from the Lady Generals. So as the clock winds down, I think they would have to start making those threes.
Gloriani now being bothered by Ventura. Gloriani Still with the ball, 8 on the shot clock, and looks like Parañaque on their way to escaping game number 1. Aliana Lim with a jumper, no good, but Nag with the rebound. 12 seconds left.
But then again, if you look at the Generals lineup right now, you'd see that Coach Mixon actually removed his key players. So yeah, I don't think they're looking to score much right now with 8 seconds left on the fourth quarter. I think they're fine with this with that comeback, attempt on a comeback actually.
But this with impending win, Cara, do you think what kind of adjustments must the Lady Aces make? Of course, I'm sure they won't be happy with this victory in game number 1. Maybe what's your thoughts? What maybe general adjustments for game number 2?
For general adjustments, I think it would have to be the turnovers right now. They're at 36 turnovers, and it's the finals. Wow. You shouldn't be committing that big of turnover margin. So if you're the Lady Aces, yes, you're gonna have to work on those passes.
And now game 1 goes to the Parañaque Lady Aces. They beat the Taguig Lady Generals by 7 points to draw first blood, and the Lady Aces now 1 win away from sweeping the Cayetano WNBL season 2021. There's confirmation. We will take a break and wrap up our coverage when we return. Game 1 goes to the Lady Aces. They won this one 60-53 over the Lady Generals of Taguig. And our Double B Burgers and Surge Fitness and Lifestyle best player of the game, AJ Gloriani, leading the way for the Parañaque Lady Aces in this game number 1 victory. Gloriani hitting some crucial shots in the end game to sustain their big lead in game 1. And now we are with AJ Gloriani. And AJ, kumusta ka na? Congratulations muna. And first of all, yung first question ko sa'yo, marami ka rin tinira, kinonvert na mga crucial shots. Ano bang mindset mo doon during that time na lalo pa tumahabol itong Taguig?
Bali, nung training po, medyo masarap yung feeling bago itong game namin. So, nung mga last few days of training, medyo pumapasok yung mga tira ko. So, yun, medyo nagkaroon ng confidence dahil doon.
AJ Gloriani, again, our Double B Burger and Surge Fitness and Lifestyle best player of the game. And last question ko, AJ, tatapusin nyo na ba? Pero considering na medyo dumikit itong Taguig, no? So, anong tingin mo sa game number 2?
Sana sir, no, matapos bukas. Gagawin namin lahat nung makakaya namin para sa game namin tomorrow. And naghanda po kami talaga para dito. So, we expect a good game tomorrow.
AJ, baka may gusto kang pasalamatan.
Thank you sa team namin, team managers, WNBL, and sa family ko po, hello. Yun lang.
Alright, our best player of the game, si AJ Gloriani.
Ako si AJ Gloriani, WNBL, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipino.
Congratulations again sa Parañaque Lady Aces. And let's take a look at the highlights of this game. And in the first quarter, again, the Lady Aces scoring 10 straight points to start off this game. Claire Castro dominating inside. And AJ Gloriani, our best player of the game, connecting on that outside shot. The Lady Generals only scoring 2 points in the first, and then in the second quarter, Aliana Lim taking over. And Cara, what do you think happened in the first half, and why did the Lady Aces dominated this game early on?
Well, as you saw the first half, the Lady Aces really dominated, showing composure, showing that they really want to win this finals bout against the Taguig Lady Generals. And as they said earlier, there's everything to lose for them. And of course, they're still undefeated. They still have that undefeated mark on them. And yeah, so there you go. The Lady Aces still going undefeated in this WNBL season.
But the Lady Aces still had a scare here with a huge comeback, but the Lady Aces hitting some crucial shots. They won this one 60-53, and that ends our coverage. And Cara, it was nice to work with you in this game number 1, but let's look first at the playoff picture. Again, the Lady Aces only 1 win away from winning the Cayetano WNBL season 2021. And again, Cara, it was nice. It was an honor to work with you in game number 1. And thank you for joining us in the panel.
Thank you as well. And thank you to the viewers for bearing with me, as this is my first time as an analyst. So,
but you did a great job, Cara, and congratulations. And up next, it's game number 1 of the NBL Finals. The Pampanga Delta facing the La Union Power. Stay tuned for that one. And again, ito ang WNBL, ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina.